This devlog, I'm going to be doing a lot of jobs I've avoided for a while. Yeah, turns out, if you want to write your own game engine, you've also got to write your own level editor tools, which can be really time consuming. So instead of doing gameplay this week, I'm just doing axe sharpening because as well as improving the level editor, I've also made my build asset pipeline about 20 times faster. If you're new here, this is a game that tries to distill the feeling of discovering things in a high fantasy world down into something that you can pick up and play quite easily. Hey! Oh, it worked! Nice. Oh, it actually works really well. This is good. So in theory, undo should work as well. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, clearly this worked. Actually, that is quite a cool looking map. Okay, we're sort of getting somewhere. It's actually placed the right items, which is very nice. Yeah, I mean, there are some cases like this one where it shouldn't be rotated at all. Oh, I can see it's driving me mad. But I wouldn't need to shift it, would I? Like, what's going on? There we go. Yeah. I messed the numbers up. See, this is what I get. Do you remember before when I was just like, oh yeah, let's rearrange some of the lines of code and just see what happens. That's why you don't do that. I know these are wrong, but I've still got to do the corner bit. See, look, it's all commented out still. So essentially the goal of this is just to make the logic around defining tile grids a bit nicer. Because it used to just be all of this weirdo logic, which I just wrapped in to say like, this is the ones that have edges and stuff like that. But it didn't really work very nicely for the other thing, because then if I had to do tile data, like in here, I'd also have to use that mask system, which didn't really make any sense. So I'm just trying to clean this all up and, you know, like rotate 90, rotate 180 with constants. Like, that's nice, isn't it? That's actually easy to understand. Yeah, all coming together. That sort of worked. Oh, it's done. Let's undo the whole thing. And then redo. Yay! This is good. Right, actually, let's see if I can save it and if it actually... Okay, that happens, but we'll ignore that. Yes! Yeah, they're all correct. Oh, this is great. Oh my god, what? What? No! Yay! Oh, and I forgot to put the entrance there. And also the collision doesn't work. Who wants to see some improvements I made to my level editor? The main thing is just being the tile grid system. So I've got a few different things. Firstly, I've now got an outline of where you're actually editing. So depending on the size of the scene itself. I've also got this nice little indicator down the bottom here, which is kind of snazzy. This means that if I was to do things like rotate it, I could actually see what it's going to look like. Which is super helpful because before I had to kind of guess all this stuff. But so preview's nice, very nice, quality of life, love it. The other main thing is that you can now resize through the editor. So if you click this, then it'll give you a little pop-up. And I spent ages doing the pop-up logic, so I'm glad I'm using it. It's used in this pop-up as well, but say I was to resize this to be 10 by 10 for instance. So if I did that, then you can see the box shrinks down as well. So that thing was actually 10 by 10. And it takes into account there was some stuff there before, which it just got rid of. If I was to save this, yeah, so you can see this is what the new thing's written. This is annoying. Say I just drew a few of these corner pieces around the place and then saved it again. Then yeah, look, 34, 34, that sort of thing. So the tile itself has actually changed. Then if we go back into the editor after the fact, you can see they're all still there. So that's really nice. Sorry, my voice broke a bit there. I can just go back in and draw all these things away. I think the tile editing for once has actually reached a point now where I can just carry on and do something else. And I can also draw holes as well, so something like that. There it is, it's a hole. You know what I do need to do? I need to give an entryway to this house. So what we're going to do, we're going to resize the grid a bit. So I'll make it 1 unit higher. Those bits there, I'll keep as holes. So we're drawing... There we go, we got our entrance back. And hopefully if I start it back up again, I'll get the same thing, which I do. Hey, there we go. So the player can't move because they're constantly colliding at the moment. But other than that, it looked good. You having fun down there? Yes, you are. Look at you. Having loads of fun. And look, as soon as I leave the tiles, then I can walk around as normal, so... Other than the level editor, I also improved my build pipeline quite significantly. This is the bit that turns assets such as these voxel editor files into engine usable models. The problem with it was that if you changed one asset, you had no choice but to rebuild the entire project. This week I updated it to take file timestamps into account so it can be used to skip building unnecessary resources. Okay, so what I've essentially decided to do is just stick with the command line interface and just try and separate some of this stuff out with simple timestamps. I was going to need that for the other thing anyway, but I'm doing it now. It's a very good thing to have actually. So if we look at what resbuild does, if I try and build this space game that I wrote ages ago, what it will do is it will skip most of the stuff, because what I'm doing now is creating this timestamps JSON file, which just contains a epoch timestamp for each of the files, so like GUI skin like this one. So if I went in here and changed it a bit, and then ran that again, then we should see GUI skin. Okay, copy GUI skin, because GUI skin has changed. If I call this again, then we won't get that this time. Instead it will say skipping GUI skin due to timestamp, because in the 2 times that I called that function, nothing changed whatsoever in terms of the file, so no point rebuilding it. The projects weren't actually that big before, so it didn't really matter that it took a while to build all the stuff, but now it takes far too long that I kind of have to do this stuff. So that's it for this week, but if you want to know how I got the insides of houses working in the first place, then have a look at this video. It might change your life. Although it probably won't.